At its peak, ancient Egypt seemed invincible. During the New Kingdom, powerful pharaohs such as Ramses II expanded the empire, built magnificent temples, and controlled important trade routes. The kingdom enjoyed wealth, military strength, and political stability, making it one of the most advanced civilizations in the ancient world. Massive monuments and successful campaigns reinforced the belief that Egypt would last forever. However, beneath this prosperity, hidden weaknesses were developing. Egypt became increasingly dependent on long-established traditions and systems that had worked for centuries. While neighboring civilizations adapted to changing conditions and new technologies, Egypt remained focused on preserving its past achievements. The seeds of decline were planted during this era of success, even though few people recognized the danger at the time. One major challenge facing Egypt was its inability to keep up with military innovations spreading across the ancient world. Egyptian armies relied heavily on bronze weapons, which had been effective for centuries. However, rival civilizations such as the Hittites began using iron, a stronger and more durable material. Egypt lacked easy access to important metal resources, making it difficult to produce large quantities of iron weapons and modernize its military. As neighboring powers improved their armies, Egypt gradually lost its technological advantage. This did not immediately lead to defeat, but it weakened the kingdom's ability to defend itself and maintain regional dominance. Over time, military stagnation made Egypt more vulnerable to invasion and reduced its influence in an increasingly competitive world. Egypt's strength had always depended on strong, centralized leadership under the pharaoh. As time passed, however, political instability began to undermine this system. Weak rulers struggled to maintain control, and powerful regional leaders gained influence. The kingdom experienced periods of division, with different regions competing for power and legitimacy. Civil wars erupted, creating instability and weakening government institutions. Resources that should have been used for development and defense were instead consumed by internal conflicts. Administration became less effective, taxes were harder to collect, and military coordination suffered. These divisions damaged Egypt's unity and made it increasingly difficult to respond to external threats. The more the kingdom fractured from within, the easier it became for foreign powers to challenge Egyptian authority. Religion was deeply connected to every aspect of Egyptian life, but over time religious institutions accumulated enormous wealth and influence. Temples controlled vast areas of farmland and received significant portions of the kingdom's resources. As priests and elites became richer, economic inequality increased across society. Ordinary citizens often faced hardship, while powerful groups enjoyed privileges and prosperity. This imbalance created growing dissatisfaction among the population. At the same time, corruption and competition between powerful institutions weakened the authority of the central government. Instead of working together to strengthen the kingdom, different groups often pursued their own interests. The concentration of wealth and power in the hands of a small elite reduced social stability and left Egypt less prepared to deal with future crises. The Nile River was the foundation of Egyptian civilization. Its annual floods provided fertile soil, supported agriculture, and allowed millions of people to survive in an otherwise harsh environment. For centuries, the predictable flooding of the Nile helped Egypt prosper. However, periods of climate instability disrupted this natural cycle. Low water levels and irregular floods damaged crops and reduced food production. As harvests failed, famine spread throughout the kingdom, and many people faced starvation. Economic activity declined as agricultural output decreased, placing additional strain on an already weakened government. Because Egypt depended so heavily on the Nile, environmental problems had devastating consequences. These natural disasters intensified existing political and economic difficulties, accelerating the civilization's long decline. As Egypt weakened internally, powerful foreign empires saw an opportunity to expand. One of the first major blows came from the Assyrians, whose army was among the strongest in the ancient world. During the 7th century BC, they invaded Egypt, captured important cities, and damaged the kingdom's reputation. Although Egypt later regained some control, it never fully recovered its former strength. Soon afterward, the Persian Empire emerged as an even greater threat. In 525 BC, Persian forces conquered Egypt and transformed it into a province of their vast empire. Egyptian rulers lost much of their independence, and foreign powers increasingly dictated the country's future. These invasions marked a major turning point and significantly weakened Egypt's position in the ancient world. After defeating the Persian Empire, Alexander the Great entered Egypt and was welcomed by many as a liberator. He founded Alexandria, a city that quickly became a major center of trade, learning, and culture. Following Alexander's death, the Ptolemaic dynasty ruled Egypt for centuries, blending Greek and Egyptian traditions. Although many ancient customs survived, foreign influence became increasingly dominant. The most famous ruler of this era was Cleopatra, whose political struggles eventually brought Egypt into conflict with Rome. After her defeat, Egypt was annexed by the Roman Empire and lost its independence. While it remained an important economic region, it was no longer governed by native pharaohs. This effectively ended thousands of years of traditional Egyptian rule. Ancient Egypt did not disappear suddenly through one dramatic event. Instead, its civilization gradually transformed over centuries. As Christianity spread throughout the region, traditional Egyptian religious practices began to decline. Temples lost influence, and ancient customs such as mummification slowly disappeared. At the same time, new languages and writing systems replaced hieroglyphics, causing important aspects of Egyptian culture to fade away. Later, foreign rulers introduced additional cultural changes that further reshaped society. By the time of the Arab conquest in the 7th century AD, Egypt had been influenced by Persians, Greeks, Romans, and Christians for generations. The people and land remained, but the civilization that built the pyramids and worshipped the ancient gods had evolved into something completely different.